Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. So, today I will be showing you how to make this wonderful, dense, thick, rich, and creamy body butter. So, this is our signature butter here at Oslov Organics. We just call it Oslov Body Butter. We call it our homemade butter pretty much because I make this at home. It is a selection of butters and oils in a good quantity, and it just results in very rich and creamy body butter that just absorbs easily to the skin. So it does come with 7 butters. So 7 distinct butters are ingredients here, and tamanu butter is one of them. We have mango butter, Tucuma butter, ilipe nut butter, cupuacu butter, kokum butter, and muru butter. So I just show the different butters inside the blend. So I do have a mixture of the had butters. So butters like ilipe nut butter is had, and you have tamanu, which is soft, and then you have muru, which is soft, and you have Tucuma butter, which is medium soft. So you have to know how to blend these butters in order to get a good texture that is not too greasy. And then I'll be adding Oslov carrier oil blend. So we have 12 virgin organic carrier oils in that bottle. And I'll be adding vitamin E and, of course, essential oils. So in this butter, I do use citrusy essential oils to just give it a very nice scent. And the butter turns out pure white when whipped. So if you balance out your butters properly, you would be able to get this texture here. So that's a blend, that's the oil blend. So because I'm making a big batch, so that's why I have it in that big jar. And I melted the butters and allowed it to sit a little bit. So because I'm working with hard butters, I don't like it to solidify too much, just so my work is not longer. However, if you're doing something like this, like if you're basically whipping up the oils, then you have to wait for everything to settle when you're done. So if you use a stand mixer, it would add a lot of air into your mix, and then you just have to wait really for a good amount of time for it to settle before you then put it into your jars. So obviously I had to keep whipping it up. So what I do when I whip up oils, I whip it up a little bit and I wait a little bit for the butters to sort of solidify a little bit, and then I go back in and whip it up some more. So that's what I've done here. And after a while, the oils started coming together, and then I just started whipping it up again. And now you have this creamy texture that sort of looks like a dense conditioner. So it really turns out to be a very nice body butter in the end. So the oils here that are combined in our face and body oil, they're argan nut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, sweet almond oil, evening primrose oil, rose hip oil, macadamia oil, grapeseed, avocado, apricot, castor oil. So there's a lot of oils. So like I always show in my other videos, I set aside some oil to top up as I go once I start whipping. So I don't put everything in the refrigerator to solidify. I just want to make sure that I get the texture that I'm looking for. That's why I always leave out some oils. So one thing I really like about this body butter that I invented is that it's not greasy. Even though there's a bunch of butters and oils here, it is not greasy, and I don't add any powders or anything. Like people add arrowroot powder to absorb some of the oils, but I have not added it. I do not add it to this body butter, I just leave it as is, and on its own, it doesn't feel dense or greasy. It just absorbs. It's very silky. You would absolutely love it. I think it's the balance. Of course, it is. It is the balance of the Ilipe, Kokum, the softer butters, medium soft butters. That's what gives it the texture, this beautiful texture in the end. So if you're wanting to make this in large quantities, then you just make sure to use more bottles of our face and body oil, or you blend those oils in the right proportion yourself, and then make sure to add the butters in the right proportion. So I will be giving the recipe in the description so that you know what quantities to add. And we also sell this on our website, of course, if you're not wanting to deal with the hassle of adding 7 butters and then 12 carrier oils just for one body butter. Just order this and you'll be good to go. I hope you found this video helpful, especially with the holidays coming up. You want to offer your customers lovely high-end creations. Definitely stay tuned. I will be putting out more DIYs and recipes and everything wonderful. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in today. Today I'm showing Tucuma butter and what it looks like and how it behaves when you work with it in body butter and hair butter mixtures. So I promise I'll be showcasing all our butters individually, and today I'll be working with Tucuma butter. We have a wide range of natural butters that are awesome for skin and hair, but today I'll be showing you how to make whipped Tucuma butter. So I'm whipping it up with some coconut oil, so extra virgin coconut oil, and some avocado oil, and our unique oil blend, which is a blend of 12 organic carrier oils. And I'll be adding some vitamin E into the mixture, and some cupuacu nut oil as well. And I would also be adding some essential oils. So basically what I'm doing is just working with the Tucuma butter, but you can add any carrier oils that you like, as well as essential oils of your choice. It doesn't matter. Today I'm just using mostly Tucuma butter in a large quantity, just for you to understand how Tucuma butter works. So it's obtained from Tucuma seeds, so it just looks like palm fruit as well. That's very similar in the way they look. But yeah, Tucuma butter is obtained from Tucuma seeds. So usually our butters are cold pressed. So Tucuma butter is cold pressed from the seeds of this wonderful Brazilian Tucuma plant. So it's also from the same family as murumuru palm, which both of them do have the silicone-like properties that make them so incredible for skin and hair. So you know the procedure, I already melted it down and allowed it to solidify. So I had to go somewhere that day, so I just left it in the refrigerator, and it took a while for me to get it out. But you can see it's still soft. It did not form like a glass texture. So that definitely makes it a lot different. So it gives some hope. But yeah, I definitely want to power through, because I left it for a day, which is one of the things you definitely should not do. But basically, you can then see that Tucuma butter is very pliable. It's not a very stiff butter, because if it was, it would just be gritty and just hard to navigate. But as you can see, it's breaking down gradually because it's just soft, and I also mixed it with some oils. So if you have one of the oils that I mixed it with, that would work. So if you have coconut oil, or if you have avocado oil, or if you have an organic oil blend, then you can also just add that to balance the butter out. So Tucuma butter is an excellent emollient. and it definitely brings some softness to the skin. It has a very low and it doesn't clog the pores, so it's not one of those butters that would build up on your scalp. It's very rich in lauric and oleic acids, which definitely contribute to balance the effects that it has on the hair and on the skin. So many people don't like the synthetic silicone products out there just because they cause buildup on the scalp and also on the skin over time. But this is a natural alternative to synthetic silicone because it gives a natural silicone gloss to dry hair and also to hair that is damaged, and it does add some lubrication to the skin, and it gives it a very soft and smooth look. So there's many ways to use Tucuma butter. You can add it to soaps, to your creams and lotions. So I'm just topping up with the oils now. So most of what you've been seeing is just the Tucuma butter. So you can see that on its own. It's very soft. However, this period of the year, it's pretty warm out here in the state of Massachusetts. So the butter's melty, like, yeah, not melty, but then they're easily melted because the weather is warm. So it definitely helps the butters. I would also make a video to show you how to keep your butters from just melting down now that it's getting really hot. I'll be making a video on the products that you can use to add some stability to your DIY creations. So, like I said, Tucuma butter just have this natural silicone gloss that it adds to skin and hair care products. So if you're looking to get your hair looking more shiny and not too damaged, then Tucuma butter is definitely one of the products you should consider because it has those very high levels of lauric, oleic, and mystic fatty acids, which definitely add to keep your hair moisturized and soft. So you can use it for cold and hot processed soaps and lotions, lip balms, lipsticks, sun for caring for your skin after you come out of the sun, or for caring for your feet, and also you can use it in your hair conditioners. So it's just one of those products that has multi-faceted uses that you can apply it to, and it has no toxic chemicals in it. Our butters are cold pressed and they're extracted without hexane. So one thing you want to be sure about the suppliers that you obtain your butters from is that the butters are cold processed and they are naturally extracted without using chemicals. So some of the companies that you find that make their butters in molds and different designs, they would normally melt it down again after they obtain it from the manufacturers, but we just package it and send it to you. So the butter has been not altered that much. Sometimes you can't help it. Of course, these companies also have to manufacture in large quantities, so that's one of the ways they do it. But for us, we're a smaller company. We do not melt it down and put it in squares and different other shapes. So one thing you would need to do if you're working with, if you're making soaps, is to know the amount of quantity to add. So you would need, for cold processed soaps, that would be about 3 to 6%. And for lotions and creams, maybe 3 to 5%. And normally for lip balm, 5% to almost like 100%. So this butter has a relatively average melting point, which is about 83 to 97 degree Fahrenheit. So if you want to minimize the greasy feel of your end product, you might do well using about 1 to 3% of cornstarch or arrowroot powder, as you wish. For me, I don't necessarily want the butter to be matte. I mean, we know butters are oily, But if I want to achieve a more matte finish, I normally select a combination of butters and oils that would give that result. So you would be looking to add products like cocoa butter that would give that would sort of help to balance out the oils in your DIY creations. So one of the things that people normally ask us is how can I achieve a butter that is less greasy and doesn't solidify after I whip it up. Like I always answer, you just need the right combination of butters in order to achieve that goal. So as you can see, when I started this process, it was a bit, it looked scary because the butter was really dense. I left it sitting because I had to do other things. I had to go out for a whole day. I left it overnight, and then I brought it out of the refrigerator and left it on the countertop to just sit for a while. Because what you don't want is to be whipping butters up when they're very cold or straight out from the freezer or the refrigerator, because it would just start solidifying. So you just want to bring it out at room temperature before you start the process. So for me, I don't usually like to pipe the butters because it just gets more messy and more cleanup and a lot of wastage. So I just put it directly in the containers. So we do sell handmade products, which 8 ounce. We have 16 ounce, 5 ounce, 6 ounce. But in the end, we weigh the butters. It doesn't matter if your butter doesn't balance into the container. That if it's not sitting completely, you still get the weight that you pay for. Just because, yeah, I just like to minimize waste. I just stuff it in there and it all balances out in the end, and you get the 8 ounce that you pay for. So these butters are very dense and they last very long. If you want to use them for your skin or for your hair, they can last as long as 3 to 6 months if you're not too heavy handed. Like me, I know my hair loves the butters, so I usually use it as a sealant after I apply leave-in conditioners and light oils. I then go ahead to add my butters, and it just keeps my hair moisturized for a lot longer than it would if it wasn't sealed properly. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful, vibrantly colored, emulsified salt scrub. It will make a really wonderful gift idea this holidays. I'm just showing how it turned out, and it turned out really great. As you can see, it's nice and compact, and I went ahead to use it on my skin, and it was really moisturizing and very cleansing, and I loved it. I hope you like it too, definitely. So if you want to know how I made this, definitely stay tuned till the end. I will be sharing the recipe as well. I will be including that on the website for you to make yours if you're interested in making this. So first you'll be needing fine sea salt. So we sell this on our website. Very affordable. You can get a whopping 2 pounds for just $10. So here we have the emulsifying wax, which is one of the main ingredients that I'll be using in this recipe, and I will be adding some beeswax. So we sell organic beeswax on the website. It's really nice and pure, and we have cetyl alcohol, which I'll be adding as a thickener in this recipe. So if you want a lighter version of your salt scrub, then you can definitely add this more sparingly. So this is the fractionated coconut oil that I'll be adding, and I'll be adding some coconut oil as well in this recipe. I'll also be adding some vitamin E oil just to wrap everything up because of the oils that I'm including in this recipe. So I've gone ahead to blend the coconut oil and the coconut oil here, and I will be adding all the ingredients and mixing everything together. So a salt scrub is a pretty simple DIY to make at home. You really don't need to to ever purchase a salt scrub because it's so easy and cheap to make yours, and you can use this to make gifts for friends and family these holidays. So I'm just adding the wax and everything together. I will be proceeding to melt everything down over a double boiler, preferably. So I'm adding the oil. I already mixed everything together. So you can choose any other oil that you like. Cleansing oils like sweet almond oil and coconut oil and jojoba oil would definitely work. And you can also incorporate a face and body oil here if you have it at home. You can also order this on the website. We have a bunch of carrier oils that are pure and organic that are very cleansing that you can use in this recipe. So this is the salt scrub. You want to definitely make sure that you have the salt. You want to make sure you have a really nice blend of the finely grained salt. So the thicker ones may not work in this recipe, so you should definitely go with this fine version. And I'm adding it in here and proceeding to mix it. I really like this stage because it's interesting to watch the salt just melt into the oil and get incorporated nicely. And if you're just making this recipe for the first time, you may just feel panicked because you can see the oil on top and you just want to add more salt. Please do not, because it would end up getting thicker and thicker. So you definitely don't want to do that, because the idea of an emulsified scrub is that you have the salts being compacted and not flaky and just dropping everywhere. So I added some vitamin E, and you can see the scrub just kept on transforming. It's getting thicker. So the beeswax there, the emulsifying wax, and the cetyl alcohol were definitely in action. So if you want it to be lighter, definitely add less amount of salt than the recipe calls for. Because for me, I wanted it to be somehow thick because I wanted to use it on my legs mostly. But if you want to use it on your hands and maybe your upper body mostly, then you want to add just a little bit less salt than I did. So that will give you a lighter version of the scrub. But I wanted it to be more dense so that it could work very well on my legs. So I'm just going ahead here to split the scrub. You can see how it turned out. I love this consistency. This is exactly what I want. So I split it into two and just colored one of the batches. So this is a very good idea these holidays. You can color your creations using iron oxide. It's been FDA approved for food and for medicine. So some of the capsules that you take that are colored, they are coated with iron oxide. It doesn't react with anything. It is safe for food and it's not regulated in any way. So this iron oxide is a very good colorant for DIY creations like body scrub and any other thing you like to make this holidays. So you can color it with blue, yellow, red, and just make your scrub so beautiful. And you can add those into transparent glass jars, and you could decorate it with a ribbon and give it out to friends and family these holidays. Or you can sell it in your handmade store as well. I'm sure people would love to purchase it. I hope you have really enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. And I really love the two colors. They just came out really nicely. And you can add some lemon essential oil to make it smell great. You can also just use fragrance oils and it will work great too. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful balm for lip and skin. So using a lot of cocoa butter and beeswax or candelilla wax. So I would be comparing the two waxes for you in this video. So I do sell on our website, we sell beeswax, we sell organic beeswax, and we sell candelilla wax or candelilla wax, whatever you want to call it. So if you want a vegan option, then candelilla wax will be the option. But this is our beeswax. It's made in the US and it is pure and organic. So if you wanted to use that for lip balm, that will be perfectly fine. So our candelilla wax here, it's pure and natural, and it comes in the palette form, and it's very easy to melt. So for balms, people usually lean towards tins because it just makes it easy to get out of the container and apply. So I would be using our organic face and body oil in this recipe. So it is a blend of several oils. I would be adding some cupuacu seed butter in the recipe. I just showed some coconut oil initially. I missed it. And this is our cocoa butter. This is in the form of a wafers form, which just makes it easy for you to melt it down. I'm also adding muru butter and a bunch of butters in this recipe just because I want to have a blend and I want the texture to be very soft and easy to apply on the skin. So I am using the same amounts in each of the containers because I want to see exactly how the waxes will perform in terms of look and feel, and I will show you all of that. So I just added the coconut oil initially, and obviously around this time of the year it is a bit more solid because it's extra virgin organic, so that's what you get. And I just added some cupuacu seed butter because it's very moisturizing for the skin, and blending it in with oils would just give a beautiful moisturizing effect. I'm also adding some cocoa butter. So we have cocoa butter in the wafers form, and then we have the block form. So we've recently run out of stock for the block form because actually there's an international scarcity of cocoa butter right now. So we just have the wafers form of cocoa butter. So if you wanted to use cocoa butter this Christmas, you better stock up so you're not out of this wonderful, wonderful ingredient. So here we have the ingredients already separated out, as you can see, and now I have the waxes. So the beeswax versus the candelilla wax that will be going in last. So I have this infused oil that I infused with some pure herbs. I'll also be adding it into the recipe. So if you just want to get benefits of herbs and potent flowers that are good for the skin and hair, you can just always have infusions just to make your DIY creations stand out and to improve the beneficial effects that they contain. So I always like to infuse oils with herbs and other pure products. And here we have our blend of oils, and that's what I've infused with some clove. I believe it was cloves that I have in that jar. Yes, because it just smells great. So I wanted the smell of cocoa which just smells like chocolate. Our cocoa just smells like chocolate, and then mixed with the clove smell. So I'm just hoping you're getting these ideas for your DIY holiday creations, because when you make a product that is blended with cocoa and cloves, your customers would absolutely be all over it. So I hope you finding this video useful and some of the tips that I'm providing. So here I just have the oils. I will just be measuring them out, so I add the same quantity in both of the containers. One is beeswax, as you can see, and the other one is the candelilla wax. I just love how it's looking, and it smells great, of course, because of the cocoa butter. Cocoa butter just smells so good, like all over the house already just smells cocoa butter, because I find that it's such a potent product to have. So here I've just melted the items, and I'll be adding some vitamin E, because this will be like a balm. You just want to make sure that it's very nourishing to the skin, and you can go ahead and add a blend of your favorite essential oils. So cocoa goes very well with fruity smells, so you can add grapefruit essential oil or sweet orange essential oil, just to bring out the best in this lip and body balm. So here I've got my containers, and they're just complementary to the color of the product that I'm making, so they just match they are definitely a match for this creation. So you can see the candlelight wax has a darker shade from the beeswax, and I'll just be pouring that in and filling it all the way up. So try to make sure that you fill up the containers all the way to the top, so that you don't get like a dent in your balm. Just make sure to fill it all the way up to the tip of your tin, so it has a nice look in the end. So I'm pouring the beeswax here. I just pour the candelilla wax, as you can see, and I just love the way it's already looking. It smells great. So this time around, I'm going to be patient and not just put it in the refrigerator. That's a really bad idea. I would want it to solidify at room temperature. That's best practice. I think different people have different ways they choose to do it, but it's just better to leave it out at room temperature, especially when the weather is not too warm. It wouldn't take time to solidify, and I wanted to see if there's a difference in the time it takes the candelilla wax from the time it takes the beeswax. But nope, they both started looking like this at the same exact time. So if that's a question you have, then it definitely shouldn't be. So this is a candelilla wax. It just looks so pretty. I like how it turned out. And I've got the beeswax. For some reason, it has these dots, and I was trying to find out why it has it, because I've made this creation before and it did not really have this. So I didn't know if there was a temperature problem that may have caused it, but I quite like it though. It looks like a design of some sort, so I'm just gonna own it and just act like, okay, that was intentional, but I don't know what happened. If you have an idea, please let me know. I don't know it all, so anybody that has an idea can just let me know. However, I did check this on my skin, and it just blends so well, and I love the feel of my skin, and the color was just very pretty. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please share, like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much. Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'll be showing you how I make Shea sealant. So I also make Shea hair butter, but today I'm making the sealant, which is also called the grease for hair growth and hair length retention. So as you can see, that's the Shea powder. We get ours from Sahel Cosmetics, and I'm adding some organic moringa powder. It's a light green, vibrant color. Some people use this to make tea in the morning or smoothies. I personally do not eat it. I use it for skincare and hair care, but it's a very nourishing product because in its natural state, you can use it for making teas. I hear it's incorporated in tea bags and things like that. So I'll be using it today in this hair sealant. I'm also using beeswax as the main emollient here, and I have some mango butter, and I'll be using some organic unrefined shea butter. So our shea butter is unrefined and organic, and it has this off yellow color. Sometimes it comes in a deep yellow color as well. I'll be adding some vitamin E just to make sure the butter or the paste stays fresh, and I'll be adding essential oils. That's some peppermint essential oil, and I'll be adding some rosemary essential oil, as well as some tea tree, some organic tea tree essential oil. I'll be using avocado oil to infuse the oil, because then avocado oil has a very high, it has a high boiling frying. Okay, it has a yeah, it takes a lot of heat without breaking down. So that's why I'm using it primarily to infuse the oils. So these are our butters. They come in 2 pound sizes, 5 pound and 7 pound sizes on the website. And we have organic beeswax. It comes in a 16-ounce size. We sell it on Amazon and on our website as well. You can see how vibrant and pure the color of our beeswax is. We also sell mango butter on the website and as well as on Amazon. We've been selling this for many years, and we have a lot of 5-star reviews on our Amazon listing, and you can check it out just to attest to what our product's value or quality is. So I'll be starting by infusing the oils in the herbs. So that's the Shea powder. It's a deep brown color and it smells earthy. It's like something just gotten from the earth, but it strengthens your hair strands and makes your hair shiny and helps with hair growth. So I'll take that anytime, any day. And I'm adding the moringa powder. I would then go ahead to add the oil. So I already explained why I'm using avocado oil, but you can use other oils as well. You can use extra virgin organic olive oil, which can take a good amount of heat without breaking down. So the refined version of avocado oil is light green, and you can use any version you want. You can use the refined or the unrefined version. But today I'm using this version because I wanted something light so I can see how much of the herbs has been diffused into the oils. So if I use a dark green oil, then I wouldn't be able to know how much of the herbs has actually been absorbed by the oil. So that's maybe a tip for you to use maybe a light oil for your infusion processes. So I'll be going ahead to melt down the butters. The mango and shea butter, they're very fast to melt, especially nowadays as the weather it's getting a lot warmer. You can easily get away with this within a few minutes. You don't need to melt it for a long time. So just a simple double boiler method, or you can put it in the microwave for a short amount of time. And there it is. It's melted down and ready to be mixed with the infused oil. So you can see the infused oil here. I'm just trying to incorporate it together as much as possible. So you can just put it over boiling water to infuse it, or you can sit it overnight. You can also just heat it up in the microwave, because especially if you're using oils that are not too volatile, so you'll be able to get away with that. So after the infusion process, I'm just gonna use this cloth. It's like a cheesecloth. You can use a very fine sieve. You can use any kind of mesh cloth you have, if it's able to stop fine particles. So I got this from Amazon, and they're really cheap. You can get a ton for a very low price. So I'm just trying to get the infused oil to be incorporated with the melted butters, and it looks like it's working quite nicely. There's other sophisticated ways to do this, but I'm just doing it the most convenient way. I'm just going ahead here to get as much of the oils out as I can. And so there's still a lot of particles, but I'll be saving it to use later. So I'm not going to throw it away. I not about wastage here. Definitely saving that for another infusion process, because then you can believe that there's still a ton of product inside there. So I'll be using it in a different way. So I use it for making masks and different products for my hair, because right now I'm trying as many Ayurvedic treatments as possible, because I've been experiencing some sort of thinning. So I'm working to fight that as much as I can. So getting out as much as I can. And the next process will be incorporating the mixed oils and butters with the beeswax. So that's a very important step. I'm going to mention a few things that you need to make sure of, just so you don't double the work for yourself. So now to the beeswax, I would be melting this down and incorporating it together. So the step that I said you need to make sure of is you have to make sure the both oils are at the same temperature, because if one is cold and one is hot, when you pour the beeswax in, you're just going to get a big clump immediately. So you have to make sure that your infused oils are nice and warm, almost at the same temperature as the beeswax, so that when you pour it in, it will just be incorporated easily and nicely for you. So you would just see the next step now. I'll be adding it in and mixing everything together. So I went ahead to add some hemp seed oil and some castor oil to the my mixture already, because I forgot to mention those two ingredients. They're quite important for this hair sealant. Castor oil is a staple when it comes to softening and strengthening the hair at the same time. And you just see how everything has just mixed properly. I didn't get any clumps or any seeds, because the temperatures are comparable with each other. So that's what thing you want to make sure of when you're making your hair grease or any other kind of balm or salve at home. It's very important. If you're working with products like beeswax, emulsifying wax, you want to make sure about this. So I went ahead to add some vitamin E oil and some other essential oils that I already mentioned in the beginning. So rosemary essential oil is very good for the scalp. It just helps with hair growth in general, reduces breakage, and just strengthens the hair. And tea tree oil as well both of them just work hand in hand, and the combination of all these essential oils just gives this herbal grease such a nice scent, so you don't feel like you're adding anything that's bad for your hair. It just everything just blends together nicely and gives a beautiful handmade grease or sealant. So I don't want to call it grease because some people don't feel great about using that word, because then when you think about grease, you think about greasy stuff. But this butter, this sealant ended up not being greasy at all. It was just nicely blended together and incorporated together. So you don't have any petroleum products or any synthetics. It's just what you make for yourself, pure and natural at home. So I will just go ahead to pour these into the containers when I'm done with the essential oils, and you would see how it all firmed up and ended up being a beautiful dark green color. So I'm just pouring this into the jars, and the jars are ready and prepped. So I'll just be scooping them and pouring them. So there's other nice techniques that you can use to make your workspace neater than mine, and just making your overall work a lot more seamless. But this is how I did mine, and you can in general just make all these products in a jar that you can easily pour stuff in, because then anytime you're working with beeswax, you need to be very fast. So because it just already starts solidifying, so you just want to be on top of everything, have it into a pourable container that you can just pour stuff into immediately while working. So I did not add too much beeswax because I still want the product to be very pliable. I don't want it to be a very dense sealant. I want it to be easily applied to the hair. So you have to know the amount of beeswax to incorporate to get the kind of texture that you're looking for. So this is the texture that I wanted, and I was able to use the right amount of beeswax to support this sealant. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys are enjoying the video, and towards the end I'll be showing you how the sealant turned out, how it worked on the skin. Because then with seeing how it blends into the skin, you would then be able to imagine how it would be able to blend into your hair, and how easy it would be able to be used for the hair. So when the sealant is too dense, then you get worried about applying it and how pliable it is. But with this one, there was no need to worry at all, because it just was easy to apply on skin and also my hair. So you can just see how it was easy to work with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge because I can't wait to see how it turns out. However, you can just leave it on the counter to solidify. So from the container that I was working with, I was able to scoop this out, and this is pretty much the end result. That's how it's going to look in the jars. So you can see just a nice dark green color with pure natural ingredients. So this is how it came out from the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna leave it out to harden or solidify at room temperature. I won't be putting it back into the refrigerator. I just wanted to see how it firmed up but then this is how it looks. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. So I also sell this on the website, because my website, I also sell my handmade products. I sell the DIY ingredients that you can use to make yours, and I share the recipes. I also have an ebook where you can find a ton of recipes. I just hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you. Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm showing you this beautiful whipped hair and body butter and how you can make it at home. So it's edible because I've used pure and natural organic ingredients, starting from our beautiful unrefined cocoa butter. Smells just like chocolate. You can just pop a chip in your mouth and you'll be fine. So it's natural, organic, and unrefined, and we use it to make homemade chocolate all the time. I also have some extra virgin organic olive oil here that I'll be adding, and some extra virgin organic coconut oil that I'll be adding into the recipe as well. So you can tell it's edible because everything here is just natural, and you can just use it to make food or use it on your skin. You can optionally add an essential oil of your choice. Some of them are edible as well, but I may or may not add to this recipe that I'm planning to use this summer on my skin. So starting from organic coconut oil, adding it in and melting it down, that's just the same procedure we made. I never get tired of watching these kinds of videos, so I'm sure you not either. So we went ahead and melted it down, and I'll be adding some of the extra virgin organic olive oil in bits. So just adding a small quantity at a time before I put it in the refrigerator. So now it's out and ready to whisk. So as you can see, cocoa butter is actually a very good hatter. I wanted to have a good texture to it. I didn't want it to be too soft, so this is how I'm gonna start the whisking process. I'm just adding some some of the olive oil which I had set aside, so that helps to soften it. And you can see that I'm getting a bit of resistance from my machine over there, but it definitely still pulls through because I've had it for a while now. And that's what I use for the whisking process. So you will notice a beautiful deep color of our cocoa butter. Cocoa butter comes in different qualities, and some of them do not really have the deep taste and aroma that ours has. And you would notice if you've ordered from us before that our cocoa butter retains its freshness. It's also allergen free, so it's free of the 8 major allergy problems that people have. The 8 major allergens like milk, eggs, and a few other food items that some people tend to be allergic to. Our cocoa butter doesn't have this. We also provide a nutritional profile upon demand for people that use it to make smoothies and chocolate. So if you want it, you can also request for it with your order, and we would be happy to send it over. So now the butter will just continue to get soft. And if you stay tuned to the end, you would see that this butter would not harden. So normally when people make these videos, they don't show you what happens the next day with the butters. Sometimes the butters will be all nice and fluffy and soft in the video, but the next day it could get hard just because they haven't really balanced the recipe properly. But if you stay tuned, I would be showing you what this butter looked like the next day, because I made some for myself and I couldn't wait to slaughter it on that night in the bathroom. So yeah, I would show you guys what it looked like the next day. So now I'm just still scooping down. So when you make your butter and you're happy with the texture, Don't go adding oils and other items into it to make it look softer, because sometimes you may be adding too much in the end, and you would find that your butter becomes either too soft or too oily and almost runny depending on the weather. So you just want to make sure that you've added the right amount of butters and oils that the recipe calls for, and just be confident that you get the texture that you're looking for, because that has happened to me in the past too. Like while whipping the butter, I'm like, oh, this is too stiff, and I go chunking into more oils, and it just ends up being too oily or too soft, and I don't really like it when it's too soft either. So as you can see, if I had gone with the way the butter was looking initially, I probably would have added a bit more oil, not the ones I set aside, but the like just a fresh one to the recipe, altering the whole recipe in general. But I did not do that, so the butter in the end would become exactly what I want it to be. So I just hope you're finding these videos useful. And there's a bunch of products and butters and oils that we have, and I'm just going to keep making videos about the butters, how they work separately and how they work in combination with other products, other oils and butters, and just to help people that are going into the whole DIY business. During COVID, a lot of people went into DIY, and I'm so happy that I was able to help people with my ebook. I wrote an ebook about how you can start your DIY business and how you can be successful, the outlets that you can use to introduce your products to market, and some of the steps, the initial steps you need to take, and how you need to approach these outlets to allow you to sell products. So I'm so happy that a lot of people found it useful. And if you've ordered from us before, just know that you can always send us an email, a question about the recipe that you want to make, and how you can tweak things around, like, because you may not like a butter, or you may just want in general to use certain items that are more cost effective for you. Then feel free to send us emails about it, and we'll be happy to respond. So we do have butters that work in tandem with oils, and butters that don't work in tandem with certain oils. And then there's butters that are cheaper, and you can get the same effect using one or the other. So just basically how you can make things work best for you. So for example, sour seed butter is an awesome butter, and it feels just like argan oil on the skin when it's melted. So this is a butter that you can use in place of argan oil if you're trying to make things more cost effective for your business and more profitable. You would still get the same result, but with a cheaper butter or cheaper oil, a cheaper product in general, but you still be offering your customers the best. Or if you were just doing it for yourself, you would still be offering your skin a very good pampering regimen using one butter or the other, or one oil or the other. So this is something that I'll be putting out over the next few months. So definitely stay tuned, subscribe, and make sure to share videos with friends that love DIY, and we'll be really, really thankful for that. So as you can see now, the butter again is just evolving. So I've made a video about how your butters can evolve while you're whisking them, and obviously as you go ahead with the whisking process, or as you get more experience with making your DIY products, you just will know when to stop whisking, when you've gotten the texture that you're looking for, or when you've gotten the look that you are happy with. So that would come with experience and time, and mistakes and successes, and by sticking to certain recipes or not. Yeah, you will definitely become better with your DIY creations. And here you can already see that the butter looks so much different and just the way I want it to be. Because it's summertime, I don't want it to become all runny on me. So, yeah, I just wanted to do it again, like just for good measure. So that's what cocoa butter does. It hardens your end product and provides a bit of stability to the overall product that you would get in return. So if you don't add like a stiffener, you might find that your butter may not be able to hold up. It might melt down more easily, especially as the weather gets warmer. So you want to use something like cocoa butter or Ilee peanut butter. Ilee peanut butter can also be used to make lotion bars and soaps and very rigid stuff, hard products. People use it to make lotion bars a lot because it just helps you maintain the thickness of the lotion bar without adding any other dimension. So if you don't want to use something like beeswax or canuba wax or candelilla wax, you could just use these Ilee peanut butter or cocoa butter to add the required level of stiffness to your end product. So just adding one more touch to it before I wrap it up. And I'm still going to show you that clip. So stay tuned. Here it comes. So this is the next day. And you can see the colors, the butter's well balanced now with a beautiful yellowish color to it provided by the cocoa butter. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've loved making it. Thank you. Bye. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today I will be making frankincense and myrrh body butter. So you can use it for your hair as well, but I'm just calling it a body butter. It's such a beautiful butter and you would absolutely love this recipe. Today I will be starting with some Shea nilotica. So I talked about this Shea nilotica in a previous video, and I also shared a clip here on YouTube, so you can find out more about it on our website. We just started carrying Shea nilotica. So this is an East African version of shea nut butter. So it's a lot softer. It comes from a rare tree that is found in the eastern part of Africa. So this butter is super soft, stays soft. So unlike the waxier textured West African shea nut butter, this one stays really soft. So I'll be pairing this with cupuacu nut oil, and we would be carrying bigger versions of these oils starting from January. So this is our unique blend of virgin organic carrier oils, and I would also be adding cranberry seed oil. So we are also bringing in 12-ounce size of our organic face and body oil. I'll be adding, of course, some frankincense oil, some grapefruit oil, and some myrrh oil. So I definitely want to tune in to the nativity story here. So as a Christian, I do believe that Jesus was born, and the frankincense and myrrh is some of the gifts that he received when he was born. So I absolutely love frankincense oil. So I always diffuse this oil at home, and I pair it with myrrh oil sometimes. So myrrh oil is more of a resin. It has a very thick texture. It's such a beautiful essential oil, and actually the more you keep it around, the more it ages, and the smell is always the same, a very earthy, grounding smell that you would absolutely love. So this is cranberry seed oil, and we carry it on our website, also on Amazon.com. So cranberry seed oil is an oil that has a balanced amount of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which make it really healthy and anti-inflammatory. So this is our blend. It is unique to us. I don't know of any other company that has measured oils in the ratio that we have in our blend, and a lot of people testify to how it helps with hair growth and moisturized skin overall. So, like I said, we'll be bringing in the 12-ounce size, and a lot of people have been asking us for a bigger version of it. So, finally, we would be adding in the 12-ounce size. And that's coconut oil. That one as well will be coming in the 12-ounce size. So, coconut oil is such a beautiful, light, textured oil. It's known to moisturize the skin and hair very effectively, and we would be bringing in 12-ounce size of it as well. So like I always say in my videos, when I refrigerate the butter, I do not allow it to solidify so much. So when, for example, when I put it in the freezer, then I don't allow it to become absolute solid. If I had put it in just the refrigerator, I would have allowed it to maybe become a bit more solid, but I just put it in the freezer, so I don't allow it to become solid when I do that. But you will see what would happen. So after what I do, when I whip the semi-oil, I then allow it to settle, and then the butter takes shape, and then I just go in and whip it, and then that's the final texture. I'll get the final texture at the second whip. So right now I'm basically whipping up semi-oil. It did not solidify because I had put it in the freezer and I didn't want it to become an absolute solid. So if you want to follow this technique, then what you do when you whip the semi-oil, you have to allow it stand for a while before you then go in and whip the butter as it's taking shape. So you see what I did. I made sure to really incorporate some air into the semi-oil, and then I allowed it to stand for a while before I then went back in to whip it. So this is just a fun DIY for you this Christmas. If you are still looking for stocking stuffer and you have some ingredients at home, or you just want to pick up some of these ingredients, we would still be able to make sure you get your product before Christmas if you wanted to get some of the oils and the butter from our website. So we sell the Shea in an 8-ounce size. So this recipe calls for an 8-ounce size of the Shea, and then I went ahead to add the oils, and I'll be leaving the exact measurements in the description section just so you can see the absolute measurements. So when I'm working with a nut butter, I like to pair it with nut oils, but today I added not only coconut oil, but I also added cranberry seed oil. So because cranberry seed oil is a bit of a viscous oil, it's thick, and I wanted the butter to still take shape because Shea by nature is a very soft butter. So you want to incorporate oils that are a bit thick so you can have a creamy and rich end product. So after I allowed it to stand for a while, you saw how liquid it was, but all of a sudden it then took shape, and then this is what I would have been working with if I had just allowed it to sit in the fridge for a while without putting it in the freezer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and then whip it a bit more, and then you would then see the final texture. So you can just use this technique if you're pressed for time, if you just want to put something together and call it a day. And if you haven't got much time, you want to work with a semi-oil, or if you're scared that your blend would become too hard, maybe you haven't used the Shea recipe, then this is a technique you can also use and incorporate into your own DIY skin and hair care or for your handmade products. So like I was saying, when we get these oils, we make sure that they're very pure, and I have set out a few videos on our butters, how we sauce them, how they are processed, and why we rely on our suppliers and manufacturers, and why you should trust our butters. So our butters are very high quality butters. So like I had mentioned in one of the videos, this was, I believe, the video on mango butter. So I talked about how butters are refined to certain degrees. So some companies do not go all the way when it comes to refinement and purity levels, because the more refinement you get, the higher the purity level you have, then the more expensive the butter. So obviously some companies like to cut corners. So when you're looking to source butters, if you're a handmade product manufacturer, you should definitely ask how the butters are processed. So they would just go ahead and tell you, oh, they're pure, but then if they are not processed using organic clays in the filtration process, then it's usually heat or hexane, which is a chemical that you don't want to be involved with. So our butters are processed using organic clays, and they're filtered using organic clays. So we are not afraid to use our butters in food grade products like lip balms and other products like that. So I'm just going ahead to add the essential oils. So the essential oils are the key in this recipe. Like I mentioned, it is frankincense and myrrh body butter. So those two essential oils are the main ingredients and the highlight of this video, because it's Christmas and I absolutely love Christmas. It's such a wonderful time. And I've just added the myrrh oil before I go ahead and continue talking. I just wanted you to see the color of myrrh, because if you were to buy it from a different company, you just want to make sure that this is the color you're getting. It is a dark brown orange color. It is a resin. It's not really an oil, but it is an oil. So you just want to make sure of what you're getting here. So you can see the Shea is such a beautiful yellow color, and I'm going to show in the end how this butter turned out, because we always get questions about, oh, would the butter solidify? Did it solidify? And things like that. And I always let people know that if you're working with a recipe, a sure recipe, and you're following measurements, then you should not expect your butter to harden. It might become a bit more stiff after it settles, but it should not become hard that it's unspreadable. Then that is a problem, because you want your butter to be easy to handle. So it ended up being a custardy texture here. So because I paired the butter nicely with coconut oil and our blend of virgin organic carrier oils. So when you want to whip up a butter or blend of butters, you have to know how to pair it with the right oils and the right essential oils to get the end product that you're looking for. So I'm just happy that I just featured the Shea here, because I haven't shown that in many of my recipes. It is a new product that we started carrying, and we do carry it in 8-ounce jars. So you can just buy one and make this with a blend of oils and essential oils, and it just works perfectly. So here I've just brought out a container that I would like to use to store some of the butters, and it smells really great. So I did not emphasize the fact that I had added grapefruit essential oil, just because I wanted to balance the aroma of the frankincense and myrrh. So the blend is fantastic. The smell is incredible. You would love it. It's good to add a citrusy smell to just balance the earthy aroma of the myrrh and the bright aroma of the frankincense. Just have something in the middle to bring the two together, and it was just a nice combination. So as you can see, the color is still a yellow color. It turned out a bit yellowish. So this is a natural yellow color. So sometimes when we are dealing with oils or butters, we just add coloring when we actually do not need the coloring, because naturally these products come with natural color. The shea butter, the shea nautica, is a yellow, beautiful color, and that is just all you need in your blend. So I have gone ahead to add the essential oils, and so I had promised to show you the final product after a while. So the butter remains purely soft and just beautiful. You can see the yellow color. It's just such a vibrant end product, and it's so soft. It's just like a cream. It's not hard at all. Thank you for watching, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Stay blessed. Bye. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, I'm just highlighting this Ayurvedic product, Hibiscus flower. So this is the dried version of the flower. It's a very potent plant, and if you grew up in the tropics, you definitely know this plant. It's so vibrant and beautiful. Today, I'll be using it as the center of this recipe, and I would also be adding some of our butters and oils to the recipe. So I'm creating like a paste or a sealant, and I'll be using our mango butter. So that's like the jumbo size of our mango butter. We sell it in bulk on the website. We have 5 pounds up until 20 pounds. And if you wanted to order like a whole container of it, we are able to supply that as well. So this is fractionated coconut oil, which is the oil I like to use to infuse herbs and extracts, just because I want the product to be properly incorporated into the oil. So cupuacu nut oil would also be used in this recipe, and I would be using some emulsifying wax just as a thickener, because this summer is going to be hot. Just today we're having a heat wave in the northeast. We're looking at almost 100 degrees. So I definitely need my butters, all my sealants to stay thick and solid. So first of all, I'll be blending the hibiscus flower, which is in its dry form. So people normally order this in the powdered form, but as much as possible, I like to get herbs in their natural stages, because I want to make sure that nothing else is blended in with it. So that's why I'll be blending it myself. However, I would like to issue a warning here. So if you are allergic to pollen, just like me, I'm allergic to a bunch of pollen and a bunch of crazy stuff. So you might want to be very careful when blending this. Maybe just cover your nose, because hibiscus is a flower that has a lot of pollen in it. So you can see the smoke coming out. And I hadn't taken my allergy medicine, so yeah, that day wasn't easy. But just giving you that warning. Make sure you don't blend it without covering your nose if you have hay fever, things like that. So I'm proceeding to try to infuse this. So I do have this cheesecloth that I ordered from Amazon, and it comes in that size. If you have a bigger size, that would also work. All you need to do is just to add the powder that you're infusing. So in recent times, I noticed that my hair is thinning, so I wanted to incorporate a lot of Ayurvedic powders into my hair care regimen, as well as my skincare as much as I can. So this is one of them, and I'll be showing you how to make like a sealant. So I wouldn't call this a grease, because it's not a stick, but it is a kind of a sealant that you can use to get some hold. That's why I am adding emulsifying wax. So you can also use things like cetyl alcohol, which will be able to give you the same effect. So I'm not adding any water to this recipe. I'm just using emulsifying wax as a thickener here. And of course, adding some oils. So I decided to use some strawberry oil because I wanted the natural scent of strawberries in this recipe. So I've just added it into the cloth and I am trying to infuse it. And of course, you need to apply some kind of heat to it. You can add it into a double boiler or you can put it in the microwave. So fractionated coconut oil is able to take on some heat without breaking down. So that's why I use it a lot when I am infusing oil extracts and these kinds of potent powders. So, hibiscus powder is known for its medicinal uses. There's been a lot of research about it. It's anti inflammatory and it helps even with things like high blood pressure and cardio and neuro problems. I was really amazed when I did the research on hibiscus powder because I grew up with this flower everywhere around the house. I did not really know what the benefits were at the time, but in recent times I've started looking at it and a lot of people drink it. And I remember growing up in Nigeria, there was a snack, like a drink that people would make with hibiscus. I did not even know that was where it came from. I just knew that the drink was delicious. So I probably had this in a way, but did not even know. But here I am today, just noticing and appreciating this natural product and just bringing that to you guys today. So you can also drink it as a tea, and you can incorporate it into your hair care regimen by infusing it into your butters that you use for sealing your hair. And you can use it for making other kinds of hair care products. And the list is just endless. If you like to make emulsions, you can add some water and make a leave-in conditioner out of this. I would in the future show different ways that you can use hibiscus in your hair care regimen and even your skincare regimen. So it's a very vibrant product, and you can see the vibrant reddish color. Now, because I did not really blend it too much, I may not be able to get a vibrant red paste, but if you want to get that, then you have to combine the right ingredients and possibly avoid using emulsifying wax. You might use a different kind of wax just to make sure that you retain that natural pigmented color, the reddish color in your resulting product there. So I'm just gonna proceed to add the other oils that I'm using. So the strawberry oil, it smells just like strawberries because it's unrefined. It's pure and just smells great. And it has all the benefits of strawberries that you can imagine. Strawberries are very high in vitamin C, almost as much vitamin C as you find in oranges. I believe it's even higher in vitamin C than oranges. So you can also get those benefits in your hair and your skin, just incorporating strawberry oils. I also wanted to add some grapefruit essential oil just because it smells great, and that's what I wanted the paste to smell like. So this is a very simple and straightforward recipe. So if you wanted to make your own grease at home, I also have a different video where I show moringa hair grease. So you can apply the same principle when you're making this kind of paste. You can use beeswax. You can also use waxes like candelilla wax. If you wanted to make a vegan creation, you can use that instead of beeswax. So waxes like canuba wax Candelilla wax, they also would be able to give you the same effect. And all you need to do is just make sure you balance it out with your oils to make sure you don't get something that is gritty or too stiff. So I'm just proceeding to pour it in. So you can see that my blend is red, but just because I did not blend it too much, and for this reason, you can actually go for already blended powders if you want it to be crushed. So this is what I got in the end. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with it. So I would be making suggestions to you if you want to have it more vibrantly colored. But yeah, it's the most important thing is the fact that it was actually infused with the hibiscus powder and it's in there and the benefits are there. So I'm pretty happy with it. So I just want to show you what the texture looks like, which is what I'm usually interested in because of the ability for my hair to, absorb the product. So it's pretty silky and it's very easily spreadable, but still thick and not too thick. So the emulsifying wax just did its job there, and I'm pretty pleased with the results. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today I'm showing this interesting comparison between refined and unrefined shea nut butter. So this is the refined version. It comes in different packaging just so you can differentiate the two. So both are organic. So all you need is just to decide if you want it refined or unrefined. So I'm just doing an exact comparison of these two butters, adding the same exact ingredients and then just watching how they go along. So that's our organic face and body oil, and it's a blend of 12 virgin carrier oils. And this is our organic coconut oil, and I'll be adding organic peppermint oil just to make it all smell nicely together. So first I'll be starting with refined shea nut butter. So shea butter is a butter that you don't want to mess up. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry around the world. Everybody relies on shea nut butter. Even the biggest luxurious brands, they use shea nut butter in their formulations, and they send these butters from West Africa to Europe for it to be refined and processed as much as possible. Some get it directly, but most of them get it refined and filtered and cleaned even when it's unrefined. So that's the unrefined version. It's off yellow or ivory, if you want to call it that. So I'm weighing it out here, and just to make sure that it's the exact same amount of butters in each container. So I'm even using the same exact container just so I can be sure that I'm formulating it correctly. So this recipe that I'm using, we do sell it on our website, but that's using the unrefined version. People like it a lot, and I have people that have bought it for many years. The whipped shea butter, it smells wonderful, even though we use the unrefined version. When you combine unrefined shea nut butter with coconut oil and peppermint, there is a special mixture of scent that you get that you don't get with any other creation, and it's just incredible. You should try this recipe. You would absolutely love it. So I've just added coconut oil to the mix, and I'll be adding that blend of carrier oils later on. So this is the butters melted down. Coconut, you know how coconut oil, when it's unrefined, it's like a butter basically. So you have to go ahead and melt it down. So I'll be adding the exact same amount of the organic blend of carrier oils to both mixtures. So this is a blend of 12 virgin organic carrier oils. I did my research on these oils before I put them together, and many people use this in their handmade businesses just to get a rich, packed, nutrient packed creation out of it. So here, I'll just, because this container is marked, so I'll be just adding the exact same quantities from just into the both mixtures, just to make sure that I get the exact same amount of equal amounts in the end. So what I would like you to take into consideration with this formula is the fact that we use our organic blend of oils as well, and these oils are very nice unrefined oils that you can use independently or in your blends as well. So I've just put them in the refrigerator briefly, and I brought it out and left it to stand for a while at room temperature. And I'll be adding the peppermint essential oil. There's something about peppermint essential oil that just, just really makes everything feel good. And I don't just bring it out during Christmas. I use it all year round in my body butters, my hair, and everything I do. Because peppermint oil is medicinal, and you can use it for a variety of things. So just looking at the two butters and how creamy they look, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't whip it. But I already decided that I would whip it. So, but then just look at how it is. So this one is the refined shea nut butter, and you can see the texture. It's very light and creamy on its own. And just take a look at the unrefined shea nut butter, how it is. It's a bit more dense in character. From just looking at the other one, you can see how this one still retains some texture, and the color is obviously different because naturally unrefined shea nut butter has a color to it, and the smell that is distinct. You cannot miss the smell of shea butter anywhere you see it. It's just that unique natural scent that just takes over everything. But yeah, for some reason, when it blends with coconut oil and peppermint, it's a different thing. You should try this and let me know in the comments if you tried this exact blend and what you think about the scent. You would love it. So this is unrefined shea nut butter when it's not whipped in this recipe. You can already just use this as is. I have a friend, she never whips her butter. She just melts it down and just brings it out for the kids to use. Like, she doesn't even butter herself. She just does the whole melts, add everything she needs to add, and that's it. So you can just try this recipe and store it, and you're good to go. It just remains creamy and nice textured like this. You just have to make sure to use the exact recipe, because shea butter behaves in different ways in different weathers and temperatures. So if it's cold and you're in a very cold region, it might get really stiff. But you can see that the refined version is lighter than the unrefined version. So it looks almost like a cream just by itself. So I'll be going ahead to whip it up just to see what happens next. So the process is pretty easy, and you already know how I do it. It's very, the whole thing has just become like a codified process of whipping butters. You can use blenders as well, but I just prefer to use this. It's pretty easy and less mess to clean up in the end. So just incorporating some air into the butter to see how fluffy it becomes, and it's just transforming already, as you can see in the video. I just love it, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this butter when I'm done? I'm just going to store it and use it. I've made so many butters now that I probably need to be giving it away or selling it. It just depends on how I feel. So if you have an organization that I could donate to, you can leave that in the comment section, and I could send some of the butters that I make to organizations that use it for the elderly or for kids. I'll be very happy to donate to these kinds of organizations. So just looking at it, you can already see that it did change slightly when whipped and became even lighter. That's as far as the refined shea butter was concerned. But for this as well, it's the same thing. It just got more light and fluffy. And I'm just going to go ahead to scrape the sides just to make sure everything is nicely incorporated. It does smell really good already. The refined shea nut butter one, that one took the whole peppermint scent. So what you get with that one is just a blend of coconut oil and peppermint. But for this, you get that blend of unrefined shea nut butter with the coconut oil and then the peppermint. That's a different aroma that I just absolutely love. I use that on my skin, especially when it's dry. Now in the summer it gets dry, and I like to use that on my feet and my heels just to make sure everything is nice and soft all the time. So just putting it in the containers here. So one thing I want to say about our refined shea nut butter, I know many people love to use the unrefined version, but for some people, they really can't stand the smell of unrefined shea nut butter. But what I would like to tell you is that our refined shea nut butter is refined using clays. So this is called bleaching clays or diatomaceous earth, which is their job is just to remove the color and to improve the flavor and stability of the butter. So we don't blend, we do not refine the butter using heat at all. So that you should be rest assured of. So that way the butter retains all the natural benefits. And yeah, they both look lovely. I would use them. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'm showing you how to make this whipped butter in bulk form. So it's cupuacu butter. It's unrefined and pure and natural. Today I'll be showing you how to make it in bulk form. So whipping up smaller butters, it's pretty easy, but when you sell on Etsy or some other handmade website platforms, you would need to know how you can make bigger batches of butters at the same time. So today I'm showing you how to make whipped cupuacu butter. So the butter that will be the star ingredient today is unrefined cupuaçu butter. So it comes from the Brazilian tree in the northern Amazon area. So cupuaçu butter is such a densely rich packed butter, and today we're mixing it up with coconut oil and a blend of carrier oils in this recipe. So it's important to know that you should reserve some of the blended oils so that once you start whipping, you can just top it up as you go. And I'll be talking more about the ingredients as the video goes along. So if you've missed anything, I will be covering it. And if I've completely missed something, you can always just add it as a question in the comments section. So I've gone ahead to follow the steps that I usually do on this channel, which is melting down the butters and refrigerating them for a while, just so everything is mixed together and on the same level, as opposed to some being hard and some being melted. That's a recipe for grainy butters. So I'm going ahead to add this into a stand mixer, just because when you're making butters in bulk, whipping it with your hand is definitely going to be more difficult and challenging. Definitely go for it if you can, but if you're making bigger batches, it's just more convenient to use a stand mixer. So like I was saying, cupuaçu butter comes from the Brazilian tree in the northern Amazon, and it's such a richly packed butter. So as you're looking at it, you would just think about lanolin. So lanolin is a product from sheep, I think. Yes, so but if you're vegan, most people that are vegan obviously don't use animal byproducts like lanolin or tallow, which comes from beef. So vegan recipes called of definitely call for vegan products like cupuaçu butter and some other seed butters out there. So cupuaçu butter can be a good substitute for lanolin. So if you have any recipe that calls for lanolin, definitely feel free to experiment with cupuaçu butter and see how it works. So lanolin is extensively used in pregnant women products. So for example, for nipple creams, because to avoid chafing and drying and all sorts of irritation. So lanolin is a very important ingredient. But if you can't use it, then definitely use your vegan option, which is a cupuaçu butter. So the cupuaçu butter possesses really high levels of essential fatty acids, and this helps the skin's elasticity and overall appearance of the skin. It's such a rich and creamy butter that works very well in hair products as well as skincare products. You can use it for making creams, lotions, lip balms, soaps, different kinds of hair products, and a variety of personal care products. So it does have a very unique aroma. So if you've used cocoa butter before, then you would recognize the hint of cocoa butter in the cupuaçu seed butter, just because they come like in the same form. So cupuaçu sort of looks like it comes from a pod, kind of like cocoa pods. So they're sort of in the same family. And cupuaçu butter has similar characteristics that you'll find in cocoa butter. It's an anti-inflammatory butter. It helps with premature aging and improves elasticity of the skin. So for people that are pregnant and need to avoid stretch marks, you can apply this butter on your tummy just to ensure that you, while stretching, you avoid too much dryness and discomfort on the skin. So it also works very well as a hair and scalp conditioner. Many people have found that it helps a lot with hair growth just because it helps you retain length in the long run. And people with coarse hair always find that cupuaçu helps with softening the hair and making it more manageable. So that's it about the cupuaçu butter. But yeah, I will keep talking about it in the video just because that's the main ingredient here. However, there is also coconut oil that you saw me adding into the recipe, as well as then we have the blend of carrier oils. In that blend, we have jojoba oil, we have olive oil, and apricot kernel oil. So the recipe is is a recipe for handmade butter that we sell on the website. So we went ahead and added all the ingredients that we usually do when we are making the version that we sell on the website. So as you can see, I've been allowing it to just get to the texture that I'm looking for. So that's one of the benefits of using a stand mixer. You can just watch it just transform. You're not using your muscle. You're just watching the butter transform. So what I usually use this paddle as opposed to the one that fluffs up the butters a lot more, just because I want the butters to still remain a bit dense. I don't want it to be too fluffy, because now the weather is warm, and then if it's too fluffy, it's more likely to melt in transit and also it would not really retain that fluffiness. It would sort of melt quicker. So that's why I'm using this paddle, because I want it to remain a bit dense. So in general, the butter is a dense butter. So when you're looking to make butters for twist out and braid outs, then you will want it to be a bit dense, not too light. So that's what I'm going for here. That's why so I reserved some of the oils, and I've been topping up as you've been observing, hopefully. So it's a good idea to just reserve some oils to make sure that you're getting the exact texture that you want. So if you feel that you want it to be thicker, then you wouldn't just add as much oils. And if you wanted it to be light, then you add more oils. So it's just this recipe is distinct, and it's a defined recipe. However, when the weather is different, you might just need to tweak things up a bit just to make sure that you get the exact result that you would like in the end. So definitely feel free to use a stand mixer. It just gives you more flexibility, and you don't have to work too hard, especially if you're making butters in bulk. So after the stand mixer does its thing, I like to just leave it to settle down, just because when these oils have been whipped at consistently for a while, they are also warmer and they're lighter and fluffier. If it's good to allow it to settle. After it settles, then you can see the exact texture that you will be getting. So that way you would just find the texture that you'll be getting is a lot more clear. So, like I said, I usually don't pipe butters because I lean towards more thicker butters, and piping them just doesn't make much sense. I just like to scoop them in. However, they are the exact size that I sell. So, for example, the 8 ounce will be 8 ounce in a jar. It just might not just completely settle in, but it will be 8 ounce, which is fine. Fine for me. It's a handmade product, so it's not machine packaged. People expect that kind of variation from time to time. So this is the end product, and I'm just scooping it in, and that way you can see the texture. It's so dense. It's great for twist outs, braid outs, and just for softening the hair and locking in that moisture after you apply your leave-in conditioner and oil. It just works great. I hope you find this video helpful in your handmade business. God bless. Thanks.